Hi, I'm James. I'm the guy behind material design in XAML Toolkit and Draggleballs as well. And just going to be doing a little tutorial on how to get up and running with material design in XAML Toolkit, and hopefully get you creating some WPF applications that look quite nice. I don't know about you guys, but I spend a lot of time working in the enterprise, and some of the applications that all of us end up writing in the enterprise kind of, well, visually leave a little bit to be desired, let's say. With the advent of particularly mobile phones over the last however many years, I think people expect a bit more now, and it's up to us as developers to maybe try a little bit harder in our business apps, and give them some nice things to look at instead of the kind of classic grey old screens that we've had on Windows for years and years and years. So hopefully this tutorial will help you get started with material design in XAML Toolkit and spruce up your applications a bit. Okay, let's get started with the basics. I would say that particularly the first time you're using the toolkit is just try and have a copy of the demo with all the source code up and running. You don't obviously have to use the source code. We can get this from a NuGet package, which is what we'll do. But if you've got the demo up and running, it's easier to see what's going on and get started. So I've got a brand new WPF project here with our main window. So let's do some basic things. We'll get a couple of things added in. What do we want? We want a text block. Name. Say. Text box. And the button. Submit. Let's put all this on a row. I am using ReSharper here, so I can kind of get those added in pretty quickly. Grid dot column 1. Right, so nice simple little form. So if we run that up, looks pretty awful, right? But there we go. We've got a text block, we've got a text box, and we've got a button. So let's just make that look a little bit more professional. Align it to the top, and stick a little margin around there. Bit of white space never did anybody any harm. I know some people are kind of better at designing layouts than others. If you find it hard, just stick a bit of white space in there, and things just start looking a little bit better straight away. Okay, so name, button. Let's so it's starting to look a little bit like something what you might see in your average line of business application. Let's stick a little margin in here. So there we go. We've got a very simple little form, pretty bland, pretty boring, but serves a purpose. So if we want to bring material design in XAML Toolkit into this, and straight away hopefully give ourselves some better effects, then the easiest way is through NuGet, which you can use through the command line. But for the purpose of this demo, let's let's run this. I don't think I've got the latest version of NuGet installed on this desktop, but hey, never mind. So let's have a search for material design and see if the wonders of search find that for us. I was thinking about it. Okay, so looks like someone's packaged up Material Design Lite, which is Google CSS library, or one of Google CSS JavaScript libraries from Material Design Lite. But you can see here we've got what we're interested in: material design colors, some Marhaps resources if you use Marhaps, but the main package, material design themes. So let's get that installed. It's going to bring in a colors package as well, and off we go. Now if we fire that up, we're not going to see much change at this point. Yeah, still the same. So we've just got to make a couple of quite basic things into our app.xaml to tell WPF what styles, templates, etc. we want to start using. So I am going to copy this straight from the demo source, which I've got here. So let's bring in some resource dictionaries, and then we'll have a look at what we've got. Okay, so we've got these resource dictionaries. So these are the 4 basic dictionaries, and that's pretty much all we need to get us going. We're going to tell it we want to use the light theme by default. We've got a light and a dark theme. This one is really important. The defaults.xaml, that will well, that's a big XAML file that's got all the templates, all the styles that we're going to use that are going to come out of the material design library. And then we've got two resource dictionaries we're including that are going to give us our palette. So straight from the demo, we've got the primary colour, which is deep purple, and the accent colour, which is lime. At this point, I should say that Google have got a pretty good spec on their website for the whole of material design. If you want to try and start sprucing up your applications, it's not just a case of bringing in this library. It's trying to understand what they've tried to achieve with their library, and they've got very good rules around the palettes and what colours work with each other. So we've kind of got all of the swatches, what they've defined, and we've got them included in this library. So we have a primary colour and an accent colour. The primary colour has 3 different hues, and the accent just has the one. You can see we've got deep purple and lime. Okay, so now hopefully just by bringing in those 4 resources, we're going to see something. There we go. Okay, so straight away now things look a little bit different, and we can see you can see a little animation appear now. When we highlight it, we get that kind of feel. And got a submit button. You can see a little animation, the shadow growing. We've got a ripple effect like we see. If you use an Android phone, you will know that very well. Obviously we've got a few alignment issues here, but straight away you can see things are looking a little bit better. So let's say let's just try and line all this up. Vertical alignment, center, and straight away as well I'm going to bring in some visuals of, first thing, let's to follow the kind of guidelines, let's make that in caps, which does look quite nice, and then let's move these along one column. Add another column in here, and then we can add a pack icon. and this is from the icon pack we use from a great website, Material Design Icons. Pack icon kind. I can't think of an icon off the top of my head. Let's guess. User, no. Person, no. Account. I don't even know what this is, to be honest. But well, that went wrong. 3. And let's tidy up these margins, yeah. Put a margin at the front, at the front, at the front. It's always a good starting point. And let's make sure that this is aligned too. So we should have an icon. There we go. And we got the icon we want there. So straight away, things looking pretty good. Things looking a lot better. Now there's a couple of other little changes what we need to make to our main window to kind of complete the design. And again, I'm just going to bring these straight in from the demo. So in the material design demo, what we've got here, let's get into main window.xaml. There's a couple of things we want to do. We need to define the default text color, font, and then font background. So to get the colors just right as per the Google specification, we'll whack those text option things in there as well to try and get the rendering just nice. I can say that when I run this on my laptop, which has got a kind of ultra HD screen, it really does look nice and crisp, you know, but like what we used to looking on phones. So in here we've got the foreground color for our text elements. We designed the font. We specify the font. It's saying it's not found there, but hopefully it will be. And paper. Right, paper is the slightly off-white background color. So now we're using the Roboto font, which is the font what Google recommends to use, and the Roboto font is included in the toolkit. Okay, so straight away, just things look a lot better there. We might want to add a menu, which is very common in Windows applications, obviously. So we've got themes for everything. Let's just see if we can quickly dock panel. Let's put this in a dock panel. And get a menu in here. You know, again, I'm going to go straight to the demo because that is a great way of getting some code that I spent ages knocking together. That's a great way of getting it. What am I doing? There it is. Right. So if we go to menus and toolbars, let's have a look at this XAML. Right. So we got some things in here, right? So let's just get an edit menu in there. With some classic commands, cut, copy, paste, and again you can see we're using the icons, so we can get your images up and running quickly. And should we throw a toolbar in? We'll put a toolbar. Let's I'll try and limit this down a little bit. We don't want all of this stuff in. Excuse my typing. Let's get rid of some of this junk. We'll keep the save button. Saves are okay, I think, aren't they? And run it up. See what we've got. A mess, but you can see straight away it's coming in. Looks all a bit chunky. Let's try and fix that though. Hey? We need to dock that to the top, don't we? And I think we've got this toolbar tray stuck in there. Okay, so we've got a menu and a toolbar, and then our our little form, so nothing too complicated. There we go. So see, there's a lot of white space in these, but you know that's I think something that we do need to try and enjoy a bit more in our line of business applications, because traditionally in the past we've done quite a bad job of that. But there you can go disabled, but it's all there. So let's go back now to our app.xaml and have a little look at some of these things. So we've got these colours. Let's pick something. Yellow.xaml. I can't think what we've got. Blue.xaml. So we're going to change the primary to yellow. We'll change the accent to blue. It's going to look a bit ugly, but let's make it dark. And there we go. So you can literally see with these 4 resource dictionaries, we've got we've made things look quite differently already. So I think that's a good starting point. Okay, so I think kind of illustrated from that we've got default themes for pretty much all of the WPF controls. We've got some extra controls as well to try and just help you in building material design looking applications. So let's throw a few more in. Have a look at what we've got. Add a new column. Let's add a, in fact, we don't need a new column. We need some new rows. Let's use Resharp to help us here. So what we're going to do is add a card, and you can see straight away we're getting the hint to pick up the namespace. So card. Hello world, and let's put this on grid row 1, the second row, and let's just make it span all our columns so it doesn't look a bit squished up. Obviously there's different ways of doing this, the various different panels, but I'm just trying to throw this together easily. So what have we got here? We've got a card. Looks pretty awful though, to be honest. Let's again quickly flick back to our light theme. We'll swap those around because that will look pretty awful, I think. Blue and, what's that, blue and green. Let's give this a height of 400. Stack panel. Let's make it flow horizontally and put a margin around there. Lots of white space, you know, is the easiest way to get things looking quickly. Let's get an icon. Kind. Twitter. Let's have a Twitter thing in there, and we can just set the height. Let's make it a bit bigger, 64, so it looks nice in our card. So we've got a Twitter box, and then let's have text block. Let's let it wrap around. Let's have a hey, please follow me on Twitter. And again, we've got a margin in there. Let's stick a margin here. Otherwise, it's probably going to look pretty horrible. 16. Oh. Yeah, 16 from the top as well. Why not? Now, I can't see the edges of my card there. I think it's gone and squashed itself right up and lost its shadow. So let's put a margin around here, 32. I'll say it's all going to be wrong, isn't it? What we need to do is fix up the height. So let's let that one where the card is fill out some space. Probably don't need that vertical on the top. There we go. We can take off the height here. See, this is, you can see I'm just hacking around to get this just right. So we'll let this. So let's just see what that looks like. You've always got to play around a little bit to. So there we go. You know, we do need a bit of a minimum height on there. We need whatever, but you can see we've got a card now. We've got that nice bit of shadow. Which is, you know, a big part of material design, just raising things up, and you know, that's quite simple. Just inside the card control, we do manage a bit of the clipping around the corners for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's show you something on shadows while we're talking about shadows. We've got lots of little helpers. So here we've got shadow assist, and that a card's got a default shadow set for you, but we can actually adjust the shadow. So let's make this nice deep shadow. There you go. You see there's a nice big shadow around on that there now. So you've got full control over the shadows, and you can pretty much apply that to any button. So any control that's got a shadow, we can put that shadow assist on, so we can do the same on here as well. Although I think that shadow there is complete overkill, but you understand. Okay, so that's starting to look a bit better now. Okay, so straight away we've got some basic controls, basic WPF controls, and we've got we started throwing in some of our custom controls that we've got. Now we've got a palette, a nice blue palette. We have ways as well of making your work with those palettes a lot easier. Particularly, let's talk about the colour zone. Right, so let's add another row in here. Right, And let's just copy this content. This is actually, you know, in some ways quite similar to a card, but we've got this color zone, and let's put it on row equals to height 100. So what's important about this color zone is this mode property. So straight away now you can see, if you remember I mentioned at the start, we've got a primary color which has 3 hues. So we've got the mid, the light, the dark. We can have light, inverted, dark. We use the accent. All right, so let's use the accent on this one to really kind of bring in some color. Okay, so there's the accent. Not bad, eh? So we've got that color zone. Just to prove things, let's have a primary light, and I'm going to add in as well corner radius of 8, and as I mentioned a little while ago, we're going to add a little shadow in there. So let's add a shadow depth of 1, just give it a little shadow. There we go. So that's using the light color, and you can see the font there. It's quite interesting. Is black, yeah. So what happens if we pick primary dark? Now that main color might be getting a bit too dark for the black to display. So magically, we have white text in there now, and again, this is all driven by the Google specifications around the way color work, the palettes work with each other, and we've kind of wrapped up all of that inside the library for you. And again, in the color zones, that's all managed for you. And what we can do is we can embed color zones. So let's have a mode, and let's make this the light color, and then let's have in here a text block height, and come on, let's give it a nice margin. Okay, so we've embedded a color zone within a color zone, and so on. So you can do that, and I'll quickly show you on the main demo, which I've got up and running here. You know, you can start to. This is an example of that. We've got a color zone with another one embedded with a little corner radius. There's a little drop shadow applied there, and then just in there, we build a nice search bar. That's the kind of thing you'll see on Google Maps or whatever all the time these days, and it does look quite nice. You may have noticed from that build a search bar. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's build that search bar. Let's give this a corner radius. Let's just to prove how easy it is. Corner radius of 2. Shadow assist, shadow depth. Let's give it a little shadow, and then let's do a stack panel. Orientation horizontal. Let's get our icon in there. Do we have a search? Magnify. Yeah, magnify. And now let's have text block. Text box, sorry. And then let's have another button, with what did we have in that one? We had a microphone button in there, didn't we? So again, pack icon. Now we're not going to be there at the first run, but I'll show you how we can get there. I know straight away we're going to want a little margin. We want a bit of padding. Can we do that? We can't do it on there, can we? So, yeah, sorry, yes. Let's put a little margin around there. And the margin here. Let's go 8. So the controls don't stick horribly to each other. Let's run this up and have a look at our little search bar. Okay, so you can see, well, there's a text box. It's pretty ugly. That button, not quite what we want, but we're getting there. So let's give this, let's say, a min width of 120. Now we want to give it a little prompt. Yeah, so we've got this text field assist hint. Yeah. Please search. Let's run that up. See how things are looking now. Didn't work at all, did it? I completely see, we all make mistakes. I applied that completely to the wrong thing. So, in our text box, min width, please search. Okay, so getting there. Now, you may think, oh, well, this little underline pretty is up, you know, in a normal field like this, in this kind of colour zone, it doesn't quite look the part, so that's pretty easy. We can turn that off, and we've got text field assist, decoration visibility, so we can just collapse, hide that. Let's tidy up this mess what we're making. Okay, so actually I need to set the border thickness to 0 because we've got two things. We've got the underline, but then the actual animation as well, which is 2 pixels instead of the well, 1, which is just the normal underline. So I think that's going to solve that. Here we go. Okay, so we've lost our underline. We still want to get this looking a little bit better. Now, as I've already said a couple of times, it's good to have the demo knocking around. So if you think, right, this little button here, what style was that? Because there's plenty of different styles in the demo app that we can draw on, and you know, to be honest, I can't even remember some of the styles off the top of my head myself. So let's go to the source code, and in here, in the demo, we've got the color zones page, and what are we looking for? We're looking for where we do this build a search bar. So build a search bar, and then there we can see that the button underneath is using this style here, material design tool button, which you can see we're bringing in dynamically because that's declared in one of the XAML files that's brought in as part of those 4 that we added in right at the start. We can afford to just bring it in dynamically. If you know what the name is, we do by looking at the demo. So let's get that back out of the way, get back to our little application, and let's restyle the microphone button, and of course let's give these a bit of alignment. Let's just make sure. I can't remember what's the biggest, what's the smallest. But if we align it all up, run this up, and there you go. We've got a search bar. Maybe it's a bit fat, but hey, you know, it's not too difficult to tweak that. So you can see by putting together the color zones, you can easily build some quite striking things. Like I say, you know, you can have a bit of fun. We could use the accent color. I don't know what this is going to look like now, but there you go. Everything's kind of set up there for you. So we've got a card, we've got color zones, we've got nested color zones, we've got buttons with toggles, buttons with ripples. We've got our palette, which is pretty much all set up for you. So, you know, even if you know you're not very good with colors, to be honest, I'm colorblind quite heavily myself. So, you know, if you need help with colors, just go to the demo app, go to the palette page, and here we go. Let's find something. Well, brown and teal. So we know we're using brown as the primary, teal as the accent, and then all you've got to do is go here and say brown, teal, and there you go. That's that. So let's have a bit of fun. Let's have some fun. You know, one of the great controls that's come out of all this material design stuff is this floating action button. You should know that that the standard is you only have one of these per page. So you probably don't want to go you know, blasting those all over your page. And then obviously what we see now in a lot of applications is this kind of effect. So we've got some nice animations on there. So you can have a normal button, you can have the additional actions. Let's go to the home page. We've got it on here, and you can see we've got a bunch of different colors. We can also control how eager it is to pop up, you know, because according to what the mouse is doing, because obviously on the desktop, so you know, mostly using the mouse. But the way this is implemented, I hope it's quite easy. And also, if we take a look at this little control here, that's a pop-up box. It's a custom control written for this library. This pop-up box is the same, and this floating action button are the same thing. Although this is a button. You see we've got a tooltip under here, material design floating action button. So if you want a button that style, that's what you do. So let's just do this material design floating action button. So let's go back to our main window, and we had a button right at the top, the submit button. Yeah. So let's go. Let's give it that style. Dynamic resource. Okay. Material design floating action button. Okay. Dynamic resource. Excellent. Right, now obviously the text in there is going to be a bit big, so let's just put a little smile in there. Let's see what that looks like. Obviously you can use the pack icons that we've been looking at. And there you go. So there's your floating action button. You can see the ripple, the little shadow. Okay. But come on, I've promised you the floating action button with multiple stuff. So first of all, let's comment that out. Let's put a pop-up box, so you can see that's part of the material design library. Okay, and let's put a smiley in there. Let's stick that in our column so we know where we want it. Okay. I'll zoom this out a bit. Okay, so you can see the pop-up box with the smiley in there, okay? Hiding away quite nicely under there. But as I say, let's jump back to our demo project. What we're after is this puppy here, yeah? But if we go to the buttons, there you go. So there's the name of the style: material design, multi-floating action, accent pop-up. So that's the action pop-up. I can't remember all of that off the top of my head. Let's see how far we get. Dynamic resource, material design, multi-floating action, and you see it said accent because we want to use the accent color. So that's an option. Let's just double check. Multi-floating action accent pop-up box. You know, I've totally got this wrong. And then let's do this properly. One button in there with a happy face. Okay. And what this is going to do, it's going to realise it's got buttons in there, and it's going to style them for us. So let's put happy face, sad face. See what happens. Okay. You can only have one child, so that's all right. We just put these inside a stack panel. Didn't find it, did it? Okay. But you can see a happy face and a sad face. We still haven't got the name of the style right, hence why it's not finding it. Material design, multi-floating action accent. Material design, multi-floating action accent. Pop-up box. Now, I think what we've got to do, and this is one little extra bit, what we've got to do, and this is why it's good to have the code. We're not finding that style, so we've probably got to go in and bring in the resource dictionary from that. Okay, so let's give that a blast. So merging dictionaries is a little bit of a boast, but it's not the end of the world. Resources, resource dictionary, resource dictionary dot merged resources, resource dictionary source. Wow, and now pack URLs, which are always fun to write, eh? Especially when the editor tries to jump in on you. But come on, let's not do that. Let's go back to the demo, which has got all the stuff we want. So quite simple. In the demo, the buttons.xaml, you can see here, right, we're actually bringing in the style because we're going to override that default style with the kind of vertical ellipse. We're going to bring that in, bring in the extra style for the pop-up box. Okay. Now, because we've brought in that style, we can get rid of the dynamic resource, static resource. Now we can actually check. Control space, there it is, we found it. Okay, F5. I really need to enlarge this window so I don't have to keep dragging it open. But there we go. So we've got floating action button, which is the same control. And there we go. Happy, sad, happy. Okay, quite simple. Now, we can also customize this a bit further. Dot toggle So we've got the toggle content, which is when the action button's closed, and the toggle checked content, because basically the big part of the round button control thing is a toggle button. So let's add something into there. So let's rely on our pack icon, which is always a good way to get something up and running quickly. Kind pencil, and hopefully we should see. Okay, you can see the pencil coming in there now. It's a bit off alignment, but you know, I don't think I'm going to worry about that for now. I think I'm going to wrap up this demo. Hopefully you've seen some of the basics, how to get your app.xaml set up, which is really easy, to be honest. And then, you know, start using your usual WPF controls, and then just take advantage of the cards and the color zones to just add those big blocks of striking color in, and the shadows, which can all be tweaked. And then again, you know, start enjoying some of these fun controls. And as I say, always have the demo running side by side. Find the style that you want, bring it in, and hey presto. So thank you. I'll try and come back with some more stuff. We'll touch on draggables, integration with markups, that kind of stuff. Okay.